the stuff and things. Those are going live. We're gonna go to
So
the
I'll
standby logo.
I'll just need to refresh the screen.
Yes.
Yeah. Once it's live, I have to post the link. Give me 1 second. All right.
You guys take so long. I gotta take another pee break.
Sorry,
All right.
go ahead. Skibadoo beep bop bop.
Boop boop be doo. All right, that one's on.
You want me to do the bad signal?
No, hold on.
All right.
Make sure everything's good
EJ
here.
is back. Yes, he is. Hello,
Guess
Chris
who's
H.
back? Back again.
EJ's back.
Back. Tell some men.
EJ's back.
back.
EJ's
Rub
back.
my back
EJ's
again.
back.
My back.
EJ's back. EJ's back. EJ's back. Bow, wow, wow.
There's this one Croatian bar that it was a brewery, and I was like, oh,
Don't
cool.
forget we're live now. Don't forget we're live. I'm just saying.
Okay, so I retweet, or no, this is it, right? Wait,
You're talking about the Croatian bar. You know, you never know what the story's going to be there.
it's a brewery. It's not like a strip
Brewery.
club. Good lord.
Okay.
But they had. I'm tweeting this.
Do it.
Okay, so now there should be a live stream. Do you see it?
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure you don't have the David
Tweeting.
Aria one up.
Tweeting now. So we went to this Croatian brewery, and actually, like in Croatia itself, there's like a really big craft beer movement. So I'm like, hey, you guys are speaking my language. All right. So I was in Split, and it's where the Diocletian Palace is, where they filmed in the basement of this like old ass Roman palace that dates back from like 50 AD. In the basement is where they shot the scenes in Game of Thrones where basement.
Spoilers. Blah, 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 blah.
Well, but it's just dragons. I mean, if you don't know about dragons right now,
That's true. I think you should know about dragons.
yes.
Or
But
dragons.
yeah, I went to this bar and they had, or this brewery, and we walk in. I'm dragging my wife with me to this thing, and we get
Speaking
in,
of
and
dragon.
and this is when we thought the World Cup game was going to be on that Croatia was playing, and found out that was an hour off because of. But we went in there and they're blasting Eminem, and I absolutely abhor Eminem. And so I ordered a beer, downed it. There. Eminem.
There we go. Just having issues with the stuff and things. All right, we're live everywhere.
Sorry.
Let me mute
My audio
this.
went-
Sorry, that sounded weird. Sorry. All right. The video.
I didn't mess you up, did I? On my audio?
No, you're good. You're good. We're live on all the stuff and things. I'm just sharing.
Guess who's back? Guess who's back?
Stop.
TJ's back. Bow, bow, bow. I need to make sure not to touch this microphone because I just did and it went haywire.
Yeah, don't do that.
It's raining here. Is it raining where you're at, Dave?
No, it's supposed to be pretty soon though. There we go. There it goes. Why can I not share? I want to share as Dave Costs. Why can I not? There we go. Posting as. Why won't it let me do that? Share on a page you manage. No. Why did this change? Oh my god. There we go.
Facebook sucks.
There we go.
Matt and Dave learn how to use the internet. Next, Brograph.
Derp.
Bow, bow, bow.
God. All right, Facebook is good. We're good on all the stuff and things. We are live everywhere, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the pod thingy. We're all good there.
Make sure you
Good
turn
with
off
our
the music.
screens. I will turn off the music.
Cool.
The music is off. And now, last
Whoa.
thing we got to do is start recording. So I am rolling on audio.
I am rolling as well.
I'm rolling now.
Cool.
Okay, I'm starting the backup call recorder.
Wow, that
Look
looks
at there.
so potato-y.
Got my notes.
The live stream does.
Weird. Okay. We're gonna do our clap. The 1, 2, 3 clap. You ready?
Mhm.
1, 2, 3. Okay.
Kick a goal.
We're good there. Guessing the chat's good. I don't see any chats in the thing yet, but I'm sure they're there. It says ready and waiting for new messages. Are you seeing stuff coming through the chat?
I'm not seeing anything going through the chat.
All right, just making sure.
There was 4 messages, but nothing since.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Somebody chat us something real quick. We got 20-something people here.
There you go.
Okay.
Oh,
There
no,
we
it popped up and then it went away.
Sensitive cube. There we go. No, we're good. You're watching a delay, so yeah, we're good. All right. We are
okay.
good to go. Let me move my headphones.
Banana.
So we're gonna do the intro. I'll say I'm Dave. Matt, I'll say I'm
EJ
Matt.
knows this.
And then,
This is like his third one.
yeah, no, it's just been a while.
This ain't my first rodeo.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
So-
Wow.
What's up,
Just
Nose
all
Man?
the awful songs today.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Hold my head up high. Nose Man. What's up, Nose Man? What's up, Liam? What's up,
Nose
T.
Man.
Alexi? All right. We got all the people.
If
ready.
I could, then I would. I'll
Yeah.
go
If I
wherever you will go.
Sure.
Way up
Oh
high.
my gosh, that's enough.
This is the show now, guys.
Hear it all, hear 90s music, yeah.
All right.
Kira, Pedro, with arms wide open.
Oh my gosh, come on, let's just do the
Look
show.
at this photograph. Look at this
graph. Look at this Brograph.
Sometimes it makes me laugh.
Oh man. Oh,
That
what
just
has
be
happened to the show?
So just quoting 90s, really bad 90s
Are you
alternative.
just quoting bad music? Is that your show?
That's what we do
You
now.
poop mouth. All right, we are rolling. We're ready to go. We're
Let's
gonna
do
we'll do a week wrap up. We're gonna talk about our little projecty thing, and then we're gonna talk about the obvious Max on News. So, all right, here we
Yes.
go. All right. What up, bros? Welcome to another Brograph Brocast. I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt, and joining us is my brother from another mother, Mr. EJ Hassenfratz.
And I'm EJ.
And Brograph is a supplement to our site, brograph.com, which is a motion graphics tutorial site with tutorials, plugins, podcasts, and other MoGraph stuff. And on the show, we talk about everything ranging from motion graphics to Cinema 4D, After Effects plugins, render engines, doing business, doing taxes, being a contractor, or working for the man. And you can email us, brograph@brograph.com, and let us know what you think about the show. And send us your questions. We love to hear from you on email. I know everybody likes to get all up in the Slacks, but, you know, there's that. So this week, there's a lot going on. EJ's here. Your second School of Motion run is going on, right?
Today, yes. Just started today. Classes opened up, and a whole brand new crop of people are learning the awesomeness of Cinema 4D. So it's pretty exciting to get, you know, a bunch of people at one time opening their eyes to 3D, Cinema 4D, joining the community. It's pretty awesome.
Let me ask you this: like, so you, this is the second one. Did you have a lot of people who were like basically straight up noobs in the last one?
Oh yeah, I mean there was plenty of people that may have dabbled in a tutorial here or there in the past, you know, couple years, but they never, you know, if you don't know any 3D at all and you jump on YouTube and you watch some like 13-year-old or some schmuck like myself trying to, you know, watching a
Yeah.
C4D tutorial with no no reference whatsoever, it's pretty hard. So just having this 8-week long course that brings you from knowing absolutely zero Cinema 4D to what I like to say is kicking down the door and busting into the room of 3D. And it's been really awesome to see the progression of those students from not knowing anything to like using the Brograph model to the final week where they do their final project, and that's this whole like 15-second explainer video for Instagram campaign. And it's just like so cool to watch the growth of some of these students. And like I said, it's just really cool to usher in a new crop of C4D users because, you know, when you know something and you know this community is like second to none, it's just really awesome to have people, you know, get involved and the interaction on our Facebook group. So each semester has their very own Facebook group, and there was a ton of interaction this last time, and it's just super cool. And you end up meeting people that, you know, like when I went to London, I was just, you know what, I'm like, I have like a free night. Let's just try to get some people together. And there was like maybe 20 or 30 people from the School of Motion group that came out. And it was just, it was just so cool to see. And, you know, Raid Zero came out, Andy Needham. It was really cool to hang out in London, have what turned into, like, I was like, we went to this bar and we're like, yeah, let's just get a table. There's maybe like 6 people that can fit at the table. And I was like, yeah, it'll be fine. I don't expect that many people to come up. And within like the first 5 minutes, we're like, okay, this table's not going to work because now there's 10 people. Let's move it outside, and then
I'm just so popular.
I'm kind of a big deal. No,
but it was just
really cool to the students that are on the Facebook group. You meet them in person, and you know, you make industry friends on there. So it was really, such a cool experience, especially from, I mean, you guys make tutorials too. Having like the Brograph meetup in Dallas, like that's the one opportunity you can actually hang out with other people in person. You're not some weird internet people. So it was really cool to, you know, meet people face to face, and a lot of people were just so kind, and it was just such a humbling experience to meet those people and know that you're through this little School of Motion course, that you're like, this one guy got a job at Blizzard. Not knowing any 3D at all, got a job at Blizzard Entertainment. You know, what's the
World of Warcraft?
World of Warcraft. Yeah.
StarCraft, all that stuff. He knew zero 3D, took the class, and he got hired at Blizzard. And he wrote me this really nice email, and it's just like, wow, like that's crazy.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
awesome.
It's just a really rewarding experience to, you know, teach all these people.
When I met you, I thought that Ariana Grande was just a font, and now I know. Now I know everything about Cinema 4D thanks to you.
Yeah, Gav in the chat just said it was cool to meet you. It's cool to meet you too. It's just really, really awesome to. But I want to do more of these meetups, and actually next month in Denver, Joey's coming out. Joey from School of Motion's coming out.
Nice.
I believe it's August 9th. It's a Thursday. So if you happen to be in the area, you want to come out, it's going to be a big School of Motion-y meetup, C4D meetup in Denver. Be there, be square.
Dang, dude, that's the day before.
That's why I was asking you.
Man. Man.
Yeah.
We would have to do
you guys
a
gotta
lot
come out
of
some other time.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, unless we want to go to Denver for a day, then back to Dallas, then to Vancouver.
Oh, boy.
Or just bring all your stuff out there.
Maybe we can talk to Max on it, just fly us from Denver.
Oh, jeez, no.
Oh, wait,
Too
no,
much
because it's
flying.
to Vancouver. It's not Southwest, so it would cost you thousands of dollars.
No, that would be, that would take too much work.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's do a week wrap up, and then we got some news to get to. First of all, we've just finished our big projection map. If you've been following us on all the socials, you've probably seen it already. And so we're glad we can finally put that out there, because we had a gag order about exactly what it was until now.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun. It was a lot of work, a 3-month project. If you would like to see it, we'll have a link in the show notes. We've also got
or you can just go to nexusmotion.com and check out the work
We've got
tab
pictures. We got
or
behind the scenes.
the news. We got a whole
news
blog
tab.
post about it.
And we're going to be doing a behind the scenes on that eventually, and we'll talk more about that later. It was a lot of fun. 12 projectors. That's basically playing 6 videos simultaneously onto a building, with like a parallel camera in Cinema 4D, so you don't have the perspective, and it projects shadows and lights and everything back on the building. Man, just such a fun project to do. And
yeah, it was. What was really exciting is once you finally got to see it on the building, and know that everything lined up and everything looked good. Like that was the most comforting thing right there.
Yeah, that's the thing about it. It's like you do all the measurements, you do all the photogrammetry, you build these models and you build all this stuff, and you're like, man, I hope there's nothing major off because I don't really want to have to re-render anything big, So we've got that. We did an Instagram and all that stuff. We got all the socials going, so you can check that out. And then actually, it's funny. There was a person in the Octane Facebook group that I guess was there that night.
Yeah, that's so funny.
And I guess they were like, I didn't realize that was you. He's like, I thought you were just like a stagehand or something, just hanging out, So, I was like, man, it's a small world.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and so the one thing we did do though is we used Pixelate It for
nice.
Part of it.
That's awesome.
So
yeah, I saw
we'll have to do that
the renders. Clip. Yeah, I saw the renders. That was really cool.
So there's this part where this little video game happens, and these, I designed this little After Effects video game that projects on it, and did sound effects, and it was kind of fun to do. I was like, man, I want to do more like fake video games. This is fun, and just like use Pixelate It and just do it up. So that's something I'll definitely be showing off in some of the behind the scenes is using Pixelate It. So.
Yeah, there was a guy that shared with me something about the Donkey Kong record holder and that whole controversy kind of thing. And he did this whole explainer video for his work and all After Effects using Pixelate It. And he just basically recreated Donkey Kong, like the game. Awesome. So he had like the barrel elements, like writing on some of the text. It was really, really well done. It's just really cool to see people making some cool stuff with, products you make. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super easy to use. We used your plugin and our plugin the most on that project.
Right. Well, it's like if I can't do it, then, if a dummy like me can figure it out, then I want to make it that easy for everyone else.
Sage says, "Holy dingleberries, it's EJ," in the chat.
Hey, Sage.
There's a thing about doing stuff like this, and I got back to the hotel the other night, and I just sit down, and it's finally over. Finally de-stress a little bit, and there's a lot involved, and you're dealing with clients, and you're dealing with trying to make sure everything's working, and you're stressed, and you're trying to hit deadlines. But then you have to step back and realize, wow, I actually got to do that. That was amazing.
Yep. Sit back and enjoy a funnel cake. You get
to watch cake. Oh, God, it's awful.
Down a couple of elephant ears.
Yeah. So that was fun. There's a couple other things from the week I wanted to go over real quick. BroChain has been extended to the 10th of July, which is tomorrow. So you still have a day if you want to participate in BroChain. I've seen the initial versions of the edit, and it's looking really cool. There's some great stuff in there. I think who was involved in that? How many
Lots of people were involved.
So that's looking pretty cool. I can't wait to see the final. I wish it were extended just a little bit more because maybe I could get one in, but I'll do the next one, I promise. I just didn't have time with this project.
Everyone did such a good job too. Amazing stuff. And what's crazy is that we really had no part of it.
Right.
It was all It was all put on by the guys in the Slack, guys and girls from the Slack. It was awesome.
Yeah. And a couple other quick things. Did you happen to see the Rick and Morty on Jeopardy this week?
Yes.
That was pretty good. They had all the phrases from the
Categories.
show.
Yeah.
Like you pass the butter and show me what you got and all that kind of stuff. So,
My man.
And all the guys on the all the really hyper nerdy people on the show probably had no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or like
exactly.
the people. Yeah, sorry.
Nigel from Cambridge had no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like a neuroscience major.
Quite.
I
How
dare
droll.
say.
How droll.
Hmm.
So, also wanted to say, if you're looking for, if you like retro graphics, this is a great series. The O.J. Simpson American, what is it called? American Crime Stories. Season 1 is all about O.J. Simpson, and there are so many famous people in this. It's insane.
Really?
So many, like John Travolta. John Travolta is not John. Who's the other main lawyer? Not Johnny Cochran, the other guy with the big eyebrows. I don't know why my mind's blank right now. But dude, Nathan Lane is in it. OJ is played by God, I'm so bad with names. Show me the money guy.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Cuba
yeah.
Gooding Jr.?
Yes, dude, there are so many famous people in this. You just have to it's insane. Kardashian, Robert Kardashian is played by Schwimmer.
Mm-hmm.
David Schwimmer.
David Schwimmer.
Really?
Like, you have to watch this. It's so good. It's so well done. And but what I really liked about it is that they recreated all of these news shows and graphics. Even like they recreated Larry King.
Mm-hmm.
And like the show, because everybody they show on TV is the actual actor. It's not like they took the actual footage, so they recreated the footage.
That's so
and
weird. Why would they
recreated the
do
old
that?
graphics. Well, I mean, it's a movie or a series, so it's the movie. But when you get to the clips, they've actually recreated all the clips to make them look like they're from the early '90s. So. And then with Larry King, they actually used Larry King to show him on set and then cut to the retro footage. So it's retro graphics, retro footage, all of that. It's really well done. It is so good. Like, if you're liking this whole crime story series stuff that's going on with Netflix in bulk right now, like the week. Oh, by the way, Slack channel, I saw that there was a mini meetup. That was kind of cool.
Yeah. Over in LA, right?
Yeah. With Zach and who else was there?
Zach Corzine, Nick Scarcella,
G-Rant.
G-Rant, yeah.
Vontagilla. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
I have no idea.
So that was kind of cool to see.
Yeah.
They said it's Brograph that ties the bond.
No.
And then on the live front, I just wanted to mention Liam, because he is going to be out of town on vacation. He's not going to do live stream this week. And next week is his bye week. But I would like to say that the week after that, David Aryev and I will be live talking about his music video on the Thursday night stream. So stay tuned for that. We'll do announcements on that.
Ice.
And then let's see. Billy was on last week on the live stream. So check that out if you haven't seen it. I was going to do a really funny meme with Kubernetes, and Liam beat me to it.
Did he really?
Exact same joke. I told you, right? You know,
I know you didn't tell me that. That's hilarious.
Slaps the hood of the card, and it's NVIDIA, and it's like, this bad boy can fit so many Kubernetes. That was my joke, and I was gonna make that the show art, and he did it, and he posted it before I did.
That's funny.
Great minds. So anyway, we are going to go a little bit out of order. We're going to hit the Ravcock later. And we're going to go to the big topic, which is the Cinema 4D leadership changes and what it means to you.
What it means to you.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny. I tweeted this when it first came out. I was actually in Munich, and the news dropped from Munich. I was like, whoa.
Did you go by the Maxon headquarters while you were there?
In Frankfurt? No. I did go there last time I was in Germany, which was like 4 or 5 years ago, and got a little tour of the Maxon secret Batcave, which is actually, it used to be the old recording studio from Milli Vanilli.
Oh, sweet.
Fun Fun fact. And they have a pool in the background.
Oh yeah.
Wait, so the people
in the
who actually recorded for Milli Vanilli or for actual?
No, Milli Vanilli actually recorded there. One of the offices there is actually a repurposed recording studio. So like one of the offices has this big window hole in it that, you know, the recording studio, like the mixer guy would be behind. Right. So you have that like thin, long, rectangular window shape, and that's just another office over there.
Oh.
So I'm like,
Noseman said also Boney M recorded there.
Who?
Boney M. Yeah.
Boney M.
Don't you know
Who's
Boney
that?
M? The one who did that Rasputin remix or whatever. Oh, so good. It's on
the producer is one of the voices. That's hilarious. That's awesome. But yeah, so
did your heart skip a beat? Because that's what happened to me. Because I saw something about CEO change, and I'm like, whoa, what?
Right?
And
Yeah.
oh.
Like, no, Paul, no. But it was very interesting to see that the three original founders stepping down, two brothers and one of their friends. As time goes on, we'll see if that was like a hostile takeover or what the deal with that was, or if it was just willing or what. But a lot of people focusing on the fact that this guy, who is now the new CEO, comes from Adobe.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of
why. I don't understand
there.
why.
I don't know.
Why is everybody so upset about that?
I would think Adobe's got a pretty good model going on. I mean, some people may not like the subscription stuff, but even if you've got Adobe's a solid company, you know, so I would see it as someone coming from Adobe, it would be a positive instead of a negative that some people are throwing it out there to be, you know. I
think a lot of people's in our sphere is they just look at the After Effects side of things. And I think out of all, and it's sad to say, but I think out of all of the apps in the Adobe system, After Effects might be treated like the redheaded stepchild as far as support, maybe how much money they get to create things. Brograph is like a little niche for them, for Adobe. So I think that's kind of the viewpoint people are looking from. But as far, and this is another thing, and a lot of people were like, oh, maybe they'll go to subscription model. I'm like, I don't like the subscription model at all, because you know, watch what you wish for or watch what you ask for, because you might not like it. Like, I like the freedom of skipping a version if you want to or whatever. Like, you actually own something. And I know a lot of people are like, well, I can't afford it, and that's a whole other subject. I think if you're doing professional MoGraph work and you truly have a need for 3D, you'll be able to easily pay for it, you know, in one job. Easily. So that's a whole separate story. Yeah. But if I had so here's a question for you. If Adobe wasn't on the subscription system, what's the last version you would have actually paid for?
Well, CS6 was the last version that I had paid for, you know, with the company that I was with. What's the one update where you're like, oh, I'm like, if it wasn't a subscription system, you were on CS6, what's the version you would have paid for?
Right.
See, okay, so here's that is a good question, because, you know,
CC 2013 maybe 14, 15?
Yeah, maybe.
Whichever one added the Cinema 4D compatibility, not the AEC file compatibility, but when they had Cineware,
which was what, 2014?
That was the first CC, actually, I believe.
Was it?
Wasn't it?
Okay.
No, it was 6. Oh wait, yeah, because then they started going to the date before they. No. I think after CS6, after CS 6.5, then they went to CC.
CC 2013 was
because I remember I went subscription as soon as they went subscription, you know, because back then I was super poor and, you know, could afford the student one, no problem, you know, but like I don't know.
I had it through my work. So like the last one that I personally had bought at that point, I think was CS3.
Yeah. See, I had never bought
CS3.
one. I had never actually paid for one. You know,
bought it at the Apple store in a package with a disc. You know,
remember CDs?
Yeah.
Remember them
Pepperidge
DVDs?
Farms remembers.
But I think that's like a really good question. Like, I know the big thing is like, oh yeah, we're going to subscription, but this frees us up. Adobe, like the After Effects people were saying that frees us up to really step back and really work on like rebuilding it from the ground up and making everything faster. Mm-hmm. And I know a lot of people out there, Ryan Summers being one of them, that I think just recently commented on the fact that it's like, well, where was this huge speed increase? Like, I feel like we got incremental speed increases, but it hasn't been anything where it's like, wow, this changes everything kind of speed increase that I don't want to say was promised, but like it was hyped to that amount.
Yeah,
it wasn't like, if we hold off for a release for a year, are you okay with like a 10% increase in speed? Like, I don't think anyone would have signed up for that.
It's because they've got us. They've got us in their clutches, and it doesn't matter. They don't have to have a killer app now to get us to buy a new copy. So now they're just in the business of getting more subscribers.
Which is why you're seeing all these, like, I'm just going into the little CC icon here, like all the different new apps they're making that have nothing to do with any workspace that I am in. Another comment was like, oh, well, the 3D apps that Adobe makes have been awful and and whatever the.
But I don't think anything's changing. That's the thing. I like everybody seems really scared, and I'm like, the only thing I was scared about is when I saw a headline about a CEO change, and I thought Paul had gone somewhere, but then that's not it because he's Max on US, he's not Germany. Mm-hmm. So everything else, the headline first in the morning before the CEO stuff was the fact that Nemechek bought the remaining 30% that they didn't own of shares of Maxon,
which I look as a good sign.
Yeah,
they're fully invested.
Yeah, fully. I mean, you know that they're dedicated to it.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why everybody's so freaked out. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I think it's all because of the Adobe baggage. That's all it is. Like, if people had a good experience with Adobe, as far as like our sphere of MoGraph, I think things would be a lot better. But I feel like at this point, there's just a lot of update subscription fatigue from After Effects people. I just feel like, and it's frustrating for me too, is because I see that most of the work that's being done by After Effects artists is like completely 2D explainer video stuff, and nothing has been updated for that. Like, we've been clamoring for like a MoGraph type of system in After Effects for forever, and there's nothing there. Or breaking things out to shape layers, like move that in the effects window. Like, it's just going to clean everything up. Like I go from like my career progression has gone from 100% After Effects. Then I started learning Cinema 4D. And once I started discovering how much easier it was, especially with Sketch and Tune and cell shading and being able to completely do like 99% of even 2D animations inside of Cinema 4D, I'm like, if I ever have to do something in After Effects, it's so painful. Just because I know how easy it is to do things, but there's just some things where you absolutely need to use After Effects for, just because.
Bathroom.
People's in the chat, by the way.
But I think it's that.
People is in the chat.
Oh no!
Oh boy, everybody, hang on. We might have some beepleception here later on.
I don't know.
I don't know. We're all just.
I just think it's interesting. I don't know, as far as the guy who's coming over from Adobe, if he's like, are we going to start seeing the same thing in the Cinema 4D side where, oh, Cinema 4D is coming out with its standalone AR VR app, and what will people think of that? Like, will that be good or will that be bad? I think, because one of the things they were saying is that they're going to focus on the AEC, architecture, engineering, and construction, which is what Nemetschek is actually like. That's their business, is construction and stuff. And then AR, VR,
yeah,
which I think that's like the future of like that. That's a whole
absolutely.
massive industry in the future, I feel, for advertising and stuff. And I think that if there's a way that, like, wouldn't it be awesome if you could just break into AR or VR workflows and not have to worry about learning like Unity. You could just make something completely inside of Cinema 4D, export it out, and it just works for Unity. Like if another designer wants to import it, it's fine. You don't have to
really like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to make. Go ahead.
Like, sorry, Skype delay. Sorry.
That's okay.
I didn't mean to step on you. The thing about AR is I want to get into AR, but it means that I have to learn Unity, right?
Yeah.
So if I were able to keep doing what I'm doing in cinema, I mean, that's what we've been talking about on the show forever, right? Is that there's this merging of video game technology into what we're doing. And so this whole time we've been thinking, well, we're going to have to go learn Unity. What if we didn't have to learn Unity? You know? So I'm wondering like what they have, and that makes me excited about it. I don't feel like it's something bad. I feel like if I'm going to be able to stay in cinema, that's awesome, because then I know how to get around. I know where everything is. I know how to do all the stuff and things, and I don't have to worry about learning Unity. Also, Paul replied to your tweet the other day, and he said, our goals and focus have not changed and will not change anytime soon. The new CEO has years of experience in motion graphics. The key takeaway, retaining 100% ownership means it's easier for Nemetschek to invest in Maxon 3D.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Yeah. Well, I think the way the industry is going, that this new leadership is actually a good thing, because Adobe is already killing it in those areas. So translate that over, like I was saying about how if you click on your little Creative Cloud icon and your top toolbar thing, there's just all these apps. A lot of them are specialized just for WebGL stuff, like and stuff like that, and programming, and like I think if you had some like for example, if Maxon came out with maybe in Maxon R22 or whatever, and it had your standalone Maxon, and then you had like this Unity kind of system where you could build stuff completely in there, and it was all in the Cinema 4D ecosystem, and it was as easy as it is to do everything else in Cinema 4D, and I don't have to worry about learning Unity in the future. It's already taken care of for me, and I can continue, just being a designer, focusing on being a designer, and not have to learn how to be a coder to some extent. Right. Like I think if that's the vision, I think that's a game changer right there.
Yeah, but
if you can make the VR and AR space and change it the way that Maxon changed the motion graphics industry with the MoGraph module, that's massive.
But I don't here's the thing. I love that Cinema 4D has everything built in, and I don't have to go to separate apps like I do with Adobe. Like, having it's almost overwhelming looking at that Adobe thing and seeing all these different apps, that are available. And I was like, there's so much more to learn. Do I need this app? Will this app replace another thing? Like I almost wouldn't love it if they did another app that would easily bring it into Unity. I would just want it to all be in one place. So
as long as everything's self-contained.
Yeah.
And there's
or it acts like Octane or something, where it's a separate thing, but it's integrated fully in the interface. Because where the problem is with Adobe is
the RAM preview doesn't work.
Everything gets updated constantly. And there's new features, new keyboard shortcuts. Like, oh my god! Like the amount of keyboard shortcuts you have to go through that aren't even consistent between three of the most used apps, like After Effects, Photoshop, Illustrator. Even Photoshop and Illustrator, don't even talk about After Effects, because that's
the pen
like
tool.
it's
one
such
is
a
G and
niche
one is
thing.
P.
But Illustrator and Photoshop are huge. Like Photoshop is a freaking verb.
Yeah.
The Photoshop and the Illustrator team are completely separate. They rarely talk to each other. And I think that's like where what Matt was saying is that you don't want these separate apps, because what if they, Maxon did do that, but that's their own, like they have separate department, VR department, and they're self-contained. They don't talk with the core Cinema 4D developers. So now it becomes less and less of an integrated thing, less of a cohesive thing. Then yes, I think that would be bad.
Well, I was listening to a show a while back. I think it was Back to Work with Merlin Mann, and he was talking about Apple and AR. And the point that he brought up is there is no like AR standard yet. And I think there's a place for somebody to invent some sort of easy standard of AR to where this is what you're going to use. This will work universally on different platforms and all of that. Because here's the problem is that AR right now just means point your phone at something and play Pokemon. But
Go.
Yeah. But in the future, it's like we've been discussing a lot. It's not going to be your phone. It's going to be your glasses. We know that's coming. We don't know how long that's going to take and how long it's going to take for the technology to be portable enough and for the glasses to not look nerdy. Like you've got some giant thing on your head.
I don't know.
But if you think about where it's going to go in the next 10 years, that's exactly what's going to happen. If you have an AR standard, a drag and drop something to where it doesn't matter what AR device you have, you can package this. It kind of like Unreal or Unity, you can say, okay, I'm making this for the Xbox or I'm making this for the iPhone. Or, when you start your project. But then there's the other element of it, which how easy are they going to make it? Are they going to make some sort of espresso type interface to where Joe Blow, who doesn't know code, kind of like us, we don't have to learn Python and all this other stuff in order to make simple, basic AR things with very minimal, activity. Find this surface. Put on your glasses or your phone. Find this surface, and then put this. This is origin, and then if you want something to happen, when you touch some element, it triggers this animation. It doesn't seem to me like that would be that difficult to program those basics. Could you use code later? Yeah. But like if that's what they're trying to do, that's going to be amazing.
Make it as easy as MoGraph, where you have like a collision or whatever, like define, they have the scene recreation thing. Like maybe there's technology from that, you can see where a building is and have that area behind it to mask out whatever character or whatever. Like the Google I/O conference, the one thing that was really cool was what they're planning on doing with Google Maps, where if you're trying to find something, you can use AR and it'll actually lay out this whole, like you can be on the street, it'll show you an arrow that goes behind a building, like to the left or whatever, to show you what the destination that you want to get to. And they have this like cute little fox character that kind of sits there, gets your attention, then hops behind the building, showing you should go behind this building to continue the path. Also, in just consumer space, I saw an example of going into a supermarket and you walk in and you're like, you have your list of things you want to buy. It'll read that, show you the direction of where the product is that you're using or that you want. It'll give you like an ingredient thing will pop up like, hey, do you want to use this rice to make chicken marsala or something? Here's the other ingredients that you will need for that. And we'll show you where all those ingredients are.
And it takes you through the most efficient path through the grocery store to get all of those things within the least amount of time.
Right.
It'll say, go to aisle 1, now go to aisle 4, then to 10, then to 20. And you'll see like directions on the floor that take you there. And then the line on the floor goes up to the ingredient. Like, dude, AR is going to be insane. And if people like us who are already creating these graphics for video are able to just start do you realize like every business is going to want AR graphics inside of their business.
Yeah, but also think about it this way,
and advertising.
We can't even get to the point right now where if we're looking for something in a supermarket, where's my app that tells me exactly what thing it's on?
Target.
And yeah, so
I mean, absolutely, and I'm probably the Walmart app too. But Target is awesome. It tells you, it finds your location. It tells you what store you're at and exactly what aisle it's in.
Right, and what happens when it's not in the right aisle?
Somebody.
Yeah, exactly. So
Remember
then
when you talk to people?
Oh, these stupid AR glasses aren't working. You're gonna get mad at the AR because the AR is not working. It's the same thing with
technology never works.
Exactly.
Fully.
I think AR's got a really long way to go. Just like how many times do we get pissed off because our smart, hubs don't work? Whether it be Google or the Alexa or whatever, it just doesn't work. Like Siri doesn't understand me half the time. And it's like, okay, this is supposed to make my life easier.
Well, that's because it's Siri.
Yeah,
if you're using an Echo, that's a different story. The
Echo doesn't work either.
Pretty well.
No, Echo doesn't. It worked pretty well for a while, but then she just goes off randomly. I'm sorry, I couldn't understand you. What? No, shut up. And then Google Home, you gotta yell at it to shut up.
That has more to do with the fact that voice technology is so difficult. But
right.
I think the problem
it's
more user error. It's more like not user error, but it's like if you don't find the product at Target, it's because somebody failed to say that it was there.
That's more concrete.
Yeah, but then
we know exactly because they already have this where they keep track of all the inventory in a store electronically.
Yeah.
So they know if a bunch of people bought, bagels. I don't know.
But if it's more of
it's first thing on my head. They know that they need to restock the bagels because a bunch of people made a mad dash for that, or whatever.
Right, but I guarantee you. I don't know. Just in that example, I can see so many things going wrong. Now, going back to the
but just think of shipping, UPS, Amazon, that is that's flawless. Name one time, I can't even name a time where Amazon was late for a package. If anything,
Amazon's
they probably deliver quicker than what they say all the time.
They've missed a few Christmas deadlines for me.
Well,
that's understandable. But again, it's human error. It's I think it's more human error than anything. Yeah. And so if more people are using this technology, they're going to be more quick to make sure that everything's working the way it should. It's going to be a long journey.
Yeah.
But as far as the AR, you were talking about things going behind things. I've got a link here in the notes. What's the company that does Pokemon?
Niantic, whatever.
Niantic.
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 They showed off an AR demo where Pikachu was going behind objects. So I think the next version, there's going to be masking and all that kind of stuff, and that's all automatic. But coming back to Maxon on this whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess first of all, most people are upset about the Adobe thing. I think it's fine.
I think it's purely this guy's from Adobe. If it was from anywhere else, some other, this guy's from Instagram. I'm sure even people would give crap.
Yeah, they would.
It doesn't matter where this person from. There's always someone that's out there to get mad about something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's it. And
would you rather it be some guy from Adobe or some guy you've never heard of from a company you've never heard of?
Yeah. No, I completely agree with that.
A company who's never worked in graphics or 3D or anything like that.
He's the ex-head of Taco Bell.
He came over from LinkedIn.
Oh, God.
Yes, see, that would be awful. Yeah, that would be awful. People who don't understand the culture.
They make amazing training over at LinkedIn. Let me tell you.
Especially
that Center 4D training at LinkedInlearning.com /EJ Hasenfratz. Go check it
out. They're not a sponsor yet, so the thing about having some random person comes in is they don't know the culture. They don't understand what it's about. They don't understand the community.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't been in our Slack, in the GSG Slack, in the MDA Slack, and see like how much of a great community this is and how everybody helps each other. And then some CEO comes from from Coca-Cola or something and is like, well, we need to be pushing more product and we need to, synergy, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, no, that's not what this is about. And that's why
you better understand when we go to a big meetup and stuff, there's hugs going around. All right.
Right. But
no handshakes and stuff. It's all hugs.
But Paul understands that culture, right?
Yeah.
He completely understands that culture. And if
Mm-hmm.
somebody...
he helped...
His market,
create
what
it.
he's in control of, is the biggest market for Maxon.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So if they're going to listen to anyone, it's going to be Paul.
Yeah.
Like they're the... Yeah.
It's the fact that if you don't understand what you're doing, if you don't understand why people are buying Cinema 4D, I mean, let's look at other software. I mean, where are the huge, awesome communities around 3D Max?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there are some, and I know there's people that use it, but does it really have that same type of community? Are there people doing meetups, all over the country because of their love of...
No, because they're too busy working. I said this from someone that was a 3D Max user, like, oh, just because we're not on Twitter or something all day. It's like, yeah, I mean, maybe everyone that is working on Maya and 3D Studio Max are working on these big Hollywood films, working 20 hours a day, so they don't have time for Twitter.
Right.
But I
don't... So one thing with this whole that I was just thinking about, there's been a few times where I've been talking to Paul and asking him, well, what's up with this? What's up with this? Like, and he's saying he had told me that, well, no, he had said that, like, for example, all the CV tools, like these are stuff that they would love to be able to incorporate into the full version of C4D, but some of the Maxon Germany has kind of pushed back a little bit, so they kind of did that.
And I don't know why that is. It's just because of the roadmap.
Right. I understand that. I maybe with this, they can all get a little bit more in line with everything. I don't know. It could be that. Who knows? I don't know.
I mean, every company has a roadmap like that, and a lot of people don't understand that. People are thinking 5-10 years into the future with their roadmaps. And then, you have a user, well, why don't you just integrate this right now? It's like, well, you don't understand how many things have to come together in order for all this to happen.
Or they're updating something that it's going to be obsolete in a couple of years or whatever, that things you can't see on our end of things or their end of things that the Maxon Germany people have laid out.
Yeah, I guarantee you that there's stuff in the next version of Cinema that has been planned for ages. Yeah. So people need to understand like the inner workings and just how much goes in. Think about that program, man. Think about
when R20 comes out, the developers are already thinking about R22. Like they're not on, like they're just finishing up 21 and they're already on to like 3 versions now.
Yeah. It's not like they're not open to any of it. I mean, Matt and I talked about, and you've probably done this too. You sit down next to one of those engineers at a dinner or something. And you're like, oh, what would be great is if you do that. I'm sure they're tired of hearing that, but they actually take it to heart. I've had conversations and been like, here's my list of things that I would really like. And they're like, oh yeah, that is a good idea. It's not that they're not listening. Yeah. They are really listening. It's very apparent they're listening. It's just like, you got to step back and understand that, this isn't just something where they can make a phone call and just update it.
Yeah.
Right then for you. It's just you've got to think of the big picture.
Yep.
So what about another thing? Just as running from my tweet and the initial like massive blowback and support and apprehension. One of them, and it'd be interesting to hear your guys' thoughts, is people kind of poo-pooing VR and AR. Like that's a stupid waste of resources.
I understand VR. Not everybody likes VR. That's fine. But I don't believe that with AR. I think people.
I think
15
people
years
who
ago,
are poo-pooing VR are the people who have never tried VR. Or only tried like the gear VR. You know,
they haven't done a real.
They haven't tried real VR. I think everyone who hates VR has not tried VR the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. But I also understand that some people aren't into it. But I think that AR is completely different. And people 15 years ago, when I had my Sprint, what was it? My Sprint Casio Windows smartphone with the giant keyboard on it. They're like, what is that monstrosity and what are you doing? And I'm like, I've got internet on this. They're like, you have internet on your phone and a giant keyboard? You're going to carry around that giant phone with you?
Right.
And I'm like, yes, I am, because I can do my email. But then BlackBerry came around and everyone's like, oh, you can like text and do your emails and stuff in your pocket. And then the iPhone came around. And then all of a sudden, look at us now. Like, who doesn't have a smartphone?
Right.
But I would bet so much on the fact that in the next 10 to 20 years, AR is going to be that integrated into our society.
Yeah.
And not VR though.
So
Yeah,
I think it's going to be a long time coming before or a long time before they start getting glasses working. Like I think there's going to be some other like ingenious thing that happens that will incorporate AR better into our lives than through glasses and stuff like that.
Well, then
because
we
if
just
you're
use phones until then.
right, if you're not a glasses wearer, like I'm a glasses wearer, so I would just get some glasses at work. But if you don't wear glasses, think about people who never wore glasses probably don't want to wear glasses and they don't want to wear contacts. So how are they gonna respond? I guess it's not. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
or is it going to be something that just projects from you? I don't know.
Yeah. It's hard to say.
You wear like a watch. You wear a watch, and there's a little hologram thing that pops up, and you don't need to wear anything other than like something on your wrist or.
I think it's standardization. I think that's the problem because let's say you and I both go and we walk into a restaurant. And it's in the future and it's AR integrated, right? Now, there has to be a standard that says, okay, now everybody in the restaurant somehow needs to be able to see the same things in certain aspects. Maybe the menu's on the wall. They all need to see that. Yeah. But then also, you also see your own personal Facebook feed somewhere on the table or whatever it is, right? There needs to be something that links the people together. And then, maybe the glasses are all powered by your phone because that has the processing power. There's all this stuff that has to be worked out. And right now, we think about it as like a massive ordeal. But in 20 years, it'll be just such a gradual change that all that will be worked out one little piece at a time. And you think about smartphones, it's the same thing. It's like, how in the world are you able to communicate with all your friends on your phones and send them pictures and all that stuff? And it's like, it just gradually happens.
Yeah. Well, how long has Facebook been out, right? And companies are just now beginning to realize how big of a deal marketing on Facebook and Instagram is. So think about how much longer it's going to take because when companies can figure out how to use AR for advertising, that's when it's going to take off. Yeah. And until that point, it's going to be worthless.
See,
because think about Instagram. Why Instagram's so big now? It's because you got companies figuring out like, oh, we can get these influencers on there now, and we can we can advertise on this, and that's where it really starts to take off, and that's where the companies will invest the money.
See, I think AR, we're still 20 to 30 years away from it being at least somewhat incorporated thing into our everyday lives.
I'd say 20.
Because, see, and I think that may be right. Because if you look at when VR first came around, back in the 80s or 90s or whatever, you had these gigantic, massive headsets and everyone was like, oh yeah, VR is going to be the next big thing or blah, blah, blah. And it just kind of died, and like, there wasn't anything really that was pushed up until the Oculus came out, and the technology got so well that you could actually incorporate it into one slightly large headset, but not these gigantic ones.
Some people I love it. I use it all the time.
Yeah.
I like to use my web browser and stuff in like big screen, and I'll put on the headset and Oh, I've been really experimenting with that and just seeing, what I can do. But again, the first thing I think of is it's like it would be cool if this were just in my glasses and I didn't need all these screens and wires here and I could just put it in front of me anywhere I go and I could work from anywhere. That's the kind of thing that's game changer, because nobody wants to sit inside of a helmet.
Yeah,
like 24/7. But
like,
definitely you
I
could
like
do
my
AR.
glasses.
Yeah, any marketing that requires you to wear something is gonna fail.
Yeah. I mean, I like my glasses, they're cool and stuff, but like if I didn't have to wear them, like that would be awesome,
Yeah.
And if you're talking about like,
said.
yeah, I don't know about that. Sorry, I'm trying to move my microphone because
here's what it comes down to when it comes to Maxon. Here's where it ties back in, is that right now they're saying, okay, we're focusing on AR stuff. Mm-hmm. It's because they have the foresight to see where it's going to be in 20 years. They need to start now.
Yeah,
well, there's already a huge amount of work in those spaces, anyways.
Right.
Even if this time it's kind of games and like for AR stuff, it's still finding its way, but it's still the point that like that's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And if Maxon can make tools that make that area more accessible, guess what? And make it like easier to make content for, that's just going to get more of a bigger industry.
Yeah.
Hey, sorry, I was trying to move my microphone and it turned off. And it stopped my recording, so we may just have to resync real quick. I'm sorry, guys.
All right, here we go. Do the clap. Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Sorry.
Let me set a marker real quick.
What a jerk.
I know. Well, the thing was tipping over. I need to put a sandbag on it.
Well, it is your new house. We'll give you a pass on that.
I'm literally still getting set up.
Yeah.
I don't even have a desk.
So, okay. Apple, for example, and Matt and I have this conversation all the time. I always say that the reason Apple is doing so much with ARKit and all the AR stuff right now is because they have a roadmap that involves some sort of headset. And they might even not have the technology to do it correctly right now. No. It might take a giant box that they have on the side, and they're developing this stuff with the idea in mind that these chips will shrink according to Moore's law over the next 20 years. I think all this AR stuff is being developed so that it's already in place. You have 1 million apps once these glasses come out or whatever. And then if we're the ones that can create content for that, if advertisers need so much content, I mean, think about how much content is needed for stuff like that. If you're going to walk down the street of New York, the streets of New York, for example, and right now all the advertisements are on LED billboards, right? But what happens in 20 years when all that content is custom and everybody sees something different? So like you need like 20, 30, 40 different versions of an ad for different people. And we're going to be making some money if we can be on the forefront of this. And that's why I'll
agree with you on the money front, but I completely disagree with the Apple's not coming out with a headset.
Dude, like they need another game changer if they want to.
Yeah, and this is the new space. I mean,
yeah, the new space.
Space. I mean, think about how the original iPhone came out in 2005, right? Think about when you had my very first cell phone. Think about your very first cell phone. Mine was a Cellular One phone. It was like massive. Yeah. It was like almost as big as an actual like rotary phone, like the actual headset part, the head mouth part thing. But could you imagine if you told me, like if someone told you, hey, in 15 years, people are going to be, that's going to be the way people are going to be experiencing marketing and media and entertainment and consuming media, is that little thing in your pocket. Like, you'd probably be like, you're nuts.
Yeah.
This little phone thing.
That's
this is
exactly
for
what
talking.
I'm saying.
Like, what are you talking about having the internet on this thing? Like, it's just crazy. And think about how long it took to now, where I think it's really like, your grandma probably has it now too. Like, to get to this point, it's gonna take that much longer. Like another 15 years, we're probably gonna be looking back and be like, hey, remember 2018? That was good times.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's the thing. Like, my grandmother has an iPhone.
Right.
It's one of the free ones that you get with a plan or whatever. But she has one. I doubt she uses most of the features. But even so, it's like even the bottom of the barrel free phone that you get is a smartphone, right? So this has gradually affected everybody. Who has a flip phone anymore?
There was a guy I did a job for a few months ago, and he had a flip phone because he just doesn't like getting email.
That flip is just so satisfying, though.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Like you make it's like a little.
No, it's when you're hanging up on.
It's
someone.
when you're hanging up on
the
someone.
That's like, I'm so done with you. Yeah. The hitting that end button is not satisfying at all.
They need a separate slam button that just sends an audio file of a slam. God, I mean, remember like when you had like the hardwired phones and you could really slam them down and like bust them?
You'd break it. Yeah, the phone thing would come off the wall.
Made out of Bakelite.
That'll show them.
Yeah.
Like this?
Bakelite phone.
And the
ding. You're doing sound effects on the fly. That's pretty awesome.
Dude, I have an old rotary phone right here.
That's what I'm saying. There you go.
That's probably worse.
God, that was the best. I'm glad you just happened to have a rotary phone behind you when we talked about rotary phones. Man, you brought everything to your new house.
Who has a landline anymore? Do you have a landline?
No.
How long has it been since you had a landline? I was trying to think back to the last time I had a landline.
When I lived with my parents.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I had a landline in 2005 only because I needed DSL. That's the last time I had one. So and the last time I actually had one that I used all the time was 2000.
I when I was hooking up my internet, getting my internet hooked up here, I partly considered getting a landline just so people from my church couldn't contact me.
Oh man, it's a slow change, and we're all slowly getting used to all of these things. And I'm telling you, that's where it's going. And it's very, gosh, Liam, oh my gosh. Liam says, "Don't sell yourself short, babe. You've got DSL."
Oh, geez.
Giggity. Okay, so
never repeat anything Liam says.
Liam says, right? It's a slow change, and we're just gonna wake up one day, and AR is gonna be everywhere. That's what's gonna happen. In 20 years, you're gonna be like, "How did this happen to us?"
I don't think so. I disagree with you.
I don't know, man. It's gonna be like Minority Report.
Maybe.
Well, 2005 to the iPhone of today, that's 13 years.
Yeah.
And, I think they're still adding cool stuff to it. Like the face recognition to open stuff, speed, just form factor, battery. Like even that's still an issue. They can't figure out how to make a battery that lasts longer than a day.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, I think the batteries... I think the batteries are getting better.
It needs to last longer than a day.
I think the batteries are getting better. It's just the processing on your phone is being more intense. Right. I guarantee you, if you stuck the battery in my iPhone 6 Plus, into the first generation iPhone, it would last for a couple of days.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, the one thing I love about the Apple Watch is the rapid charging. Like it charges. Like I can leave it. Yeah. I wake up in the morning. Brush my teeth, take a shower. By the time I'm done with all that, it's basically charged to 100%.
Noseman says, let's do an extensive discussion on AR VR soon. Yes. He says he's a lover of VR, but hater of the hype.
I don't know how much hype is in the motion graphic industry for VR. I think it's something that's, it's there. And like Matt, I think we all realize it's ways off. Like we're still having... Like you're still having clients that have never worked with an artist that does 3D before.
Yeah.
We're still at that point.
Yeah.
So I think we're finally done with doing work for SD. maybe a few years ago.
Oh yes.
So I mean, give it some time. I think we're all like AR is where I see it. I see that's an area where a client will reach out to me and do 360 video.
Yeah.
Is like I did a big 360 video campaign for Facebook for Icebreaker's Gum. Like that is that's a new area. That's something that might catch on. But that's 360 video. It's interactive. WebGL, I feel like, is this new thing that you can have 3D models online. I know there's that Snap Lens or whatever, the Snapchat 3D model thing where it's interactive a little bit.
Oh, on Facebook and stuff?
I think it's called Snap Lens or something like that. And it's something where you can, like, I've tried it. And again, it's at this point where the developers, it's made by developers, not, designers, and it's really hard to use, and you need to know some code to like program actions and stuff. But like that's an immediate area where I'm like, we could, like, if you could easily make just think of the stupidest application for this stuff that companies would do, like stickers, or the VR stickers or whatever, or just little emojis and stuff, like the animojis. Like, it's going to be the dumbest stuff that where the technology is really going to get used.
Oh yeah, you know what's going to happen, right? Is that everybody's going to come up with their own avatar of themselves, right? And then that replaces your body. And so when everybody's wearing AR glasses, everybody's going to be walking around with avatars. You and I will look at each other and just see the avatar unless we take off our glasses. It'll be like,
and so then you fall in love with the avatar, when you're at a bar, and then they take off their glasses, and you're like, oh.
Yes. That's a whole, it's a whole new meaning to the word coyote ugly. It's just like, it's you take off the glasses, or you had your AR glasses off the next morning, and you're like, oh, that's what you really look like.
Yeah.
I thought you were a dinosaur.
I think it's gonna be like, think about.
Wait a second, you're not a dinosaur? Oh, yeah. I'm so I'm not interested anymore.
Yeah. It's like Quagmire. You're not the same giraffe from last night.
Take it from Black Mirror, and let's talk like more Pokemon.
Black Mirror is eerily accurate in some episodes.
The most accurate thing where I'm like, yeah, this is happening now, is the whole rating system for people.
Oh dude,
man,
it's happening in China.
That one was painful to watch. That one was so painful.
Like, you're below 5 stars, or you have to go to this other.
You can't fly.
There was an episode of the Orville like that, where they had a planet that was like that. The entire legal system was based on it.
Yeah.
And if you got enough downvotes, you got executed.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Anyway.
Okay, EJ, here's the thing. I know you got a heart out, right? How many? I knew. I was holding it back. What is your heart out time? Because I want to skip around. I want to go out of order a little bit.
I'll at 12:30 or 1:30 your time. I can get out there.
We got 15 minutes then.
Okay, so we got 15 minutes. So, have you ever? Okay,
pizza guys got 15.
30 seconds. Yeah. Okay. Did you ever do Brograph recommends with us?
No.
Okay. Let's go through this really quick before you leave, because I really want to do that. And then Matt and I.
I'll stick around for this segment.
Okay. Brograph recommends. First of all, favorite movie.
Oh, see, this is so
hard.
And
if you can do this segment fast enough, we could probably squeeze you in on Beeple's People too.
Okay. I think it's
lightning.
So
round.
I do like favorite movies. Like if I want to say my favorite recent movie, it'd be Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
All right. Favorite music. What do you like to listen to while you're working?
Whatever they play on my local NPR music station.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Donate to your NPR local music station.
NPR, that's good. All right, favorite TV show.
Favorite TV show. Right now, Westworld.
Yeah. Okay. Have you finished season 2?
No, not yet. I got a few episodes to go. Things
All right,
getting
no
weird.
spoilers then.
No spoilers.
All right, favorite podcast besides Brograph?
Oh, and Parks and Rec. Me and my wife
Yes.
are we haven't watched Parks and Rec until it got on Netflix, and we're like barreling through it all. Really fun.
Oh man, it's so good.
And now they have the Office episodes being played like all the time on Comedy Central, and I'm like, man, the Office was good too. Like I remember, like I forget
I
all
watch
the
that all the time.
Office episodes, and I'm like,
dude, I had never finished The Office, and I watched it for the first time. I finished it for the first time like a few weeks ago.
The last few seasons are kind of lame.
I kind of like
once Michael Scott, once Steve Carell's character goes, it's kind of all downhill.
I hate Andy.
Yeah, Andy's
I like and hate him at the same time.
Silicon Valley, also a really good one.
Yes.
The older I get, the more I like Robert California too.
I just don't like that guy because then he was the voice of Ultron, and that was like one of the worst Avengers Marvel movies ever.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even know he was the voice of Ultron.
Really?
Wow, that totally changes
goodness,
my whole view of Ultron now.
He's awful. I'm like, I can't take this guy seriously. He's Robert California.
They're bringing back. Wait. They're bringing back The Office. What is this news? I have not heard of this.
That's fake news.
No, really. If that's true, like
it's gonna be awful.
No, I think they had mentioned like a Christmas episodes or something.
Yeah,
The Office UK or The Office US?
Well, they were talking about maybe at least just doing one Christmas special every year.
Revival at NBC featuring old and new cast. John
What
Krasinski
they need to do is have a
Office
mashup
coming back with a Christmas special.
They need to have a mashup of like the UK people with some excuse for Michael Scott and Dwight to go over and meet their counterparts in the UK or something.
Well, they did that. What's his name was on the American version? Ricky Gervais. Ricky Gervais, yeah. But
okay, he was an executive producer on the show.
Yeah,
I really want to be able to get you in on Beeple's People. So let's.
What was the other questions?
Let's see. Favorite podcast.
Oh well, I mean, come on.
Besides Brograph.
Yeah. Okay. Besides Brograph.
Yeah.
Star Talk. I like to get my nerdy science stuff on, and Night Attack Show. That's a good show.
All right. Headphones.
My Sennheisers are well. You know what? For right now, my wireless Apple earpods, because I use them all the time when I'm jogging and stuff. Fall out my ears.
Do you have a favorite website or Chrome extension? Either or.
Website.
Mm-hmm. You're like iDesign.com.
Yeah. I don't know. That's hard.
Where do you go on a daily basis?
Chrome extension, I'd say. I'm gonna show how stupid I am. I just realized there's like the reader view, how cool that is. When you load up a website and you're like, oh, go to reader view. So I have that on my iPhone. And the newest extension I have for Chrome is one that can do that exact same thing in Chrome. So I'd say I'm an idiot. I just discovered Reader View, and that's my jam now.
Okay, that's a good one. And then lastly, favorite life hack. You have a good life hack? I know that's a hard one.
It's a hard one, yeah. I would say one that I used the most recently was at NAB. You're in Vegas. You're in a desert. It's dry as heck, and you want to keep the humidity going. So what you do is in your hotel room, you soak a towel. Okay, you hang it up with a hanger into the air vent. So you're blowing in like basically moisture through your air in your room, and that was nice.
That's better than the alternative we were talking about, which is just pour a bunch of water in the carpet.
Yeah, mold is great too.
Yeah.
So instead of
sinus.
waking up and feeling like you smoked 3 packs of cigarettes, you
Right.
probably feel like you only
Right.
smoked 1 pack, one cart.
All right. Well, we got 6 minutes left to your heart out.
It's good.
Let's do some Beeple's people.
Beep-
All right, take.
Is people still here?
Yeah,
Hopefully
I know.
Beeple's
That's
still
the
here.
question. Are we having a Beepleception? I'm gonna get his input on his own work.
He's not going to answer if he is.
No,
I want
he's
to
gonna-
I want to plug the Beeple inspired photography I did when I was on my Euro trip.
Oh yeah.
There were some that was like I was like visiting castle ruins and stuff, and I would always try to wait for one person
For
to
scale.
enter to enter my view, like the composition, and be like, yes. So if I needed to take a like in Dubrovnik, aka King's Landing from Game of Thrones, there was like this really cool alleyway. And I'm like, I want to shoot this alleyway, but I need one guy to walk down this alleyway first before I shoot the photo. So I waited. Finally, one singular guy. Can't have 2, just the one.
Right.
And got the shot.
Now, was this a big Beeple's people or a little Beeple's people? That's the question.
I mean, they were life size, so
they weren't the mini
it's
ones.
all to scale.
Okay, it's all to scale.
Yeah, it's not like
Did you post these on Facebook or anything? Do you have one that
Facebook. Yes, I also have. I posted a few on Twitter. I still have some that I haven't posted yet. I even had in some places we visited, like when we're going on hikes and stuff, it was just me and my wife. So I'm like, hey, babe, can you like just take a? I'm gonna build the composition. I shot the photo first of the composition that I wanted, like the cropping, zooming, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna walk down there, take a picture of me in that. So I was the Beeple's people in some of the Beeple inspired photography.
That's fine.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking on your Facebook to see if I can find one.
I might have posted one. It might have been a couple weeks back.
Was it like before the zoo or after the zoo? That's the
It
question.
was before the zoo.
It was before the zoo. Gosh, how long were you gone?
A month.
Good
So-
lord.
There's a lot
long.
there.
All right. Well, here's one picture. I don't
And-
even know.
You had a good Euro trip when you find yourself doing karaoke with Raid Zero.
Yeah.
I
True.
was gonna say, and he's amazing. He's an amazing.
Really?
singer. Yes.
Really?
I think he
Man.
was in a band at one point.
Gosh, he's
Weren't
just
we
done
all?
everything. He's just great at everything.
Yeah.
He's just amazing at everything he touches.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So take out your Beeple viewer of choice. So I prefer Twitter. We're going to go to July 3rd, year of our Lord 2018. And this one is called Gray Matter. And here we go. This is interesting.
I'm still trying to get there.
I have one thought on this.
This reminds me of like a Westworld kind of vibe. There's the guys in the suits. There's a big brain in a container, like a glass cube container.
You know what? I saw this and I was like, hey, I had that idea. Remember? Because it looks a lot like my brain in a jar from the Dead Mouse thing.
Yeah, but notice that the people are a little bit different than the usual ones.
They look like they're wearing hazmats.
But they also look a little soft, almost like they're denoised.
Yeah,
Maybe.
there's a lot
This
It's
is
almost-
Octane 4 denoiser, is it?
painterly. Very
Yeah.
soft.
It looks like when you crank up the noise reduction on something. It's got that soft look to it. Is
I
he
just
still in the
love how
chat? Maybe he
he's
can tell us.
how he's taking his composition. Some of them, like they're not just noise. They I don't know what other effects he's doing, but it just looks so soft
There-
and painterly.
There, yeah, there is some. That's what I'm saying. It looks almost
It
like
also
a
could be-
denoiser.
Really crappy Facebook compression too, because I'm seeing like color banding and stuff. But I actually think it
Yeah.
adds to the. I like it. I like it with the Facebook crapification.
Okay, so the story wise though, what is
What's
this
going on?
giant?
Oh, I mean, they're building a big people, or maybe that's the brain to one of the big animals.
Yeah, it could be to one of
the brain of the giant caterpillar.
Yeah.
Well, and if you look at now, Dave, are you doing July 8th?
No, I am not, because that was yesterday and he hadn't posted it at the time I did the show notes.
Okay, well, this could be in reference to, July 8th, artificial super god, because, it's a big people and a small people.
No, we are doing that one.
Okay. I think this could be the
wrong.
one of the characters that they are building. I'm on his website.
Okay,
it is on the 7th. Today, no, I'm confused. What's today's date? Today's the 9th?
Today's the 9th, yeah.
Okay, so what was the 7th?
Radiate?
Huh. According to his website. Beeple until he makes a giant Beeple's people destroying Tokyo.
Yeah. I don't have the 7th.
I'm unfollowing him until he does
here.
So anyway, artificial super god. Right. This could be in reference to artificial super god. Like maybe they are building this giant people.
I completely agree. That is the brain for artificial super god.
Yes.
Gotta be.
Yep.
It's gotta be. I think we're missing a date on Twitter. I think that's why I got confused.
Maybe, yeah.
Does this reference the dark arts guy at all? He's
Snape?
Like worshipping the technology. He's worshipping the Snape. Apple IIe. It's like George Washington.
Oh yeah, the dark arts guy. Yeah.
I don't know who you're talking about.
I don't know.
Is he helping conjure
last week? Oh, you didn't see it last week, Matt, because you weren't.
Oh, dark arts. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, the thing is, this Big Beeple's people doesn't need skin.
Right.
Yes.
I think they're still.
I think
floating
they're still
through a city
building
shooting laser beams.
Oh, they're still
building this Big Beeple people. That's why he's not covered in skin yet.
And well, maybe they'll show it in the next one. That'll be tomorrow. It'll be called Epidermis.
There's your daily for today, people.
There you go. Hopefully he's listening.
No, not epidermis. Epiderpis.
Epiderpis.
Because you got to add the little Beeple twist.
Hopefully he's listening. We'll try and plant the seed a little bit if he's still listening. Yeah. And he did use the little string things with the things on them. He uses those a lot, like the power lines with the weights.
Yeah.
Or whatever they are on them.
Yeah.
The couplers. This thing above his head and the two crosses, though, it almost reminds me of some sort of like alignment thingy. Like,
yeah, maybe. See, I was thinking like this is like transporter-esque stuff or something. Like maybe the square moves across the body like a 3D printer, and prints this stuff. That was my thought. Yeah.
So the next one is going to have to be like almost like a Westworld looking, white model of a naked person covered in goo.
Right.
That's the new trend in things right now.
And the little brain ball.
Right.
The brain ball. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, I like where that's going. All right. We skipped ahead though. Let me go back.
That's okay. Well,
is like the Uber dog? Is that something to battle the huge Beeple's people?
That's hard to say. This guy looks like he's a
military guy,
or something like that. There have been a few of these. Remember, there was that one a while back.
It's like the Boston Dynamics kind of dog.
Yeah.
Creepy thing.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, he's done a few of these like robotic animal type things,
But now here's the thing. It's called Uber Dog, but if you notice on the animated version of this that he did, it actually says Uber on it, and it has an Uber flag.
Oh, yes.
This is a difference between the
McDonald's.
Two. This is a really big difference. Like usually they're not that different, but it's like he actually added to it. Like he put the difference between the two. Instead of trees, this one is urban.
Yes.
Yeah.
I need to see that one. Is that one on his Twitter?
Yeah. It's like it's like he had kind of an extra day to work on it because he did this the next day. So, but the fact that it's Uber Dog, he put TM on there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. That's nice.
He's bringing all the corporations into this. And oh my gosh, I had an amazing idea for the book the other day, just on a whim. And I cannot give it away on the show. I think it's a great plot twist. And I'm going to have to tell you off air. But,
Mike, I love the music. It's really good on that Uber Dog thing.
Oh, there's music.
Yeah,
I was playing that through the stream. My bad. So this is 2051. So I'm not sure exactly where's my iPad. I don't know where that fits in the timeline. I'll have to look.
Uber Dog
like
2051.
Westworld, where we don't know what timeline we're in right now.
Well, I've been keeping track of the things with dates on them for the book. And so, like, I have kind of a timeline of when certain things are happening with these dates to kind of figure this out. So 2051 was before, like, the Google stuff, though.
Yeah.
So
we're leading up to the Google Wars.
Yeah, I'm going to have to figure that out.
No, the Emoji Wars.
No, the Emoji Wars.
Come on, EJ. Don't you follow all of these? Oh.
You're going to have to, you're going to have to read the book to find out. So...
Cool. Opt out 2092.
There's a
Not
bunch
much
of
has changed in 42 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now they're like big AT-AT kind of things. They've gone from cute little dogs to this.
AT-AT. Oh, from Star Wars, you mean?
Star Wars, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm opening my thing here so I can figure out where that falls in the timeline. So. Let's see, 1979. No, hold on. So 2094 is currently the highest number I have. So this is 20. What is this?
This is 2094 was the opt out, or 2092.
2092, and that the year before that was Amazon Mobile. So 2051. So that fits right between Google 2031 and LA 2058.
Okay.
If that gives you an idea. And then 2073 is when we had Genius Bar.
Okay.
So, interesting. I need to go do the latest ones because I haven't put them in the timeline yet. So
yeah.
He's probably cracking up at me like, you goober. Here, I'll go back to our 3-pod here instead of showing you my screen. All right. So, EJ.
You out?
You have a heart out?
And with People's People, I must go forth.
Thanks for being on the show, dude.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me, always, yeah. It's nice to get back in the work week.
Yep.
Screw off with you guys for a little bit. Now I gotta do some Reels works.
Yeah. You haven't been did you work while you were gone at all?
Yeah.
Aside from, like, keeping up with the social medias, no.
Yeah.
I mean, I scheduled some posts.
Nice.
Posted a couple tutorials while I was gone, like scheduled them, but
that's
other than
nice.
that, just kind of unplugged. And
your wife's a teacher, right? So
so she's
off. So
she's got June, July off, and it's nice.
Amazing.
It's nice to just unplug for a little bit, like get out from the computer. It's kind of we just did a lot of hiking, a lot of just
beer drinking,
culture. Yeah. Watching
I had a
World
sour
Cup.
beer yesterday, and I thought of you.
You what?
I had a sour beer yesterday, and I thought of you.
Very good. Which
I had
one
a
was
crackberry.
it? Crackberry?
Yeah.
Who makes that?
I don't remember. I didn't use my Tapped app, so I can't look it up.
I use my Untapped app a lot.
Untapped, yeah.
Germany has the best, just basic beer you can get at any bar or restaurant ever.
Mm-hmm.
What's it called?
It's
Bud
shameful that we have like Bud Light and they have, amazing wheat beer and amazing pilsners.
Oh yeah, it's a joke. The light stuff's a joke.
Now, is their stuff? Is it warm or is it?
Oh
no.
Like that's in London. That's in the UK. They do the cask ales, which is I don't understand that. Like, we have refrigeration, people. Come on. But it's like in the cellar, you pull this cask handle. Mm-hmm. It's flat. It's got very low carbonation. Some people like it. I don't know.
When I went to Iceland, it was a joke. Like, if you go to the store, the light beers, like, kind of, it's their version of Bud Light, like Gull, you know, it's in these huge tall cans, and it's sitting there with the Cokes and everything else as if it's not even alcohol. Like, I don't even think they care who buys it. It's that much of a joke.
You can drink at 18.
Yeah, the guy at the store was like, this isn't real beer, right? We're like, what do you mean? There's no alcohol in it? And he was like, no, there's alcohol in it. It's just not real beer. It was like so little alcohol to them in Iceland, because it wasn't real. It was like it was Bud Light, but to them Bud Light is like Coca-Cola. Yeah. So, okay. So we're gonna take a breather here, and I'm gonna set a marker, and we're gonna restructure, and Matt and I are gonna go talk about the boring, nerdy stuff.
Yeah, I can't wait for you guys to talk about that Otoy stuff. That's I saw the show notes for that. That's kind of that's sticky icky.
Well, dang, I wish you could stay.
Why didn't I see that?
Yeah.
It's there.
Well, I'll listen.
All right. Cool.
Okay.
All right, man.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Bye.
Take care. Wait, you don't have to hang up yet, though. We'll set a marker here.
I'll stop recording.
We're still live, but we're not in the podcast. How about that?
Okay.
All right.
This up.
I will. If you could send me a Dropbox link to that at your earliest convenience, I'm going to try and get the show updated today.
I'll put in the Nexus
I got meetings tomorrow.
share.
Yep, that's perfect.
Do you want me to name anything special?
It's
Brograph podcast,
episode 141, and just a wave or a AIF, whichever works.
Wave.
Yeah.
Holy crap! It's almost 2 gigs.
Yeah, that's about right.
That's a lot of mouth garbage for me.
It's a lot of mouth words.
Poop mouth.
You don't like my mouth words. Poop mouth. We didn't do enough Anchorman jokes today.
It was pretty late on that. Okay. That should be syncing. Probably shouldn't have quit out of Audition yet.
You saved it, right?
I did save it.
Okay. Hey, you didn't send... Okay, so in the notes you said... You didn't put the whole actual link to it. So
you don't need the link. That's the extent of it right there.
Oh, really?
For yeah.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Isn't that nuts? I know Chad Ashley showed me that link like sometime last year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the ruling and all that, yeah.
Yeah,
I like your.
It does not look good for.
But yeah, but that's just the Russian ruling.
Mm.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter who's ruling. It's just like that's what you show up with to defend yourself.
Oh yeah, I know.
Kind of lame.
I'll be interested to hear more on that. A lot of this is hearsay at this point.
Yeah.
Especially freaking Russia, but.
Well, there's a lot of different levels of. I don't know. There's been a lot of smoke, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
So there's got to be a fire somewhere.
Interesting.
All right. Are you good with your audio though? You have it. Everything's saved.
It's uploading. It's 2 gigs. Okay. So I'll. It's got 30 minutes left.
Okay. Yeah, it should just show up in my dingus automatically. So.
Your what's that word from Rick and Morty?
The plumbus?
The plumbus? What is it?
Schmeckles. Not Schmeckles.
Nice.
In Schnarp.
Oh,
all right.
You saying
the cat.
Squanch?
Oh, Squanch. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you got to squanch it to me. I just
squanched it in your Brograph folder.
All right, man. We're gonna continue on here, man. Thanks for being on.
Yep. All right. Have a good rest of the podcast.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
All right. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
Later.
Bye, everybody on YouTube.
Dave, are you gonna readjust our stuff?
I'm gonna have to because there's half my face.
Yeah.
Why does it always do that?
Oh, nice. That's super nice.
I look like Kilroy right now. I'm just peeking over.
You mean? Oh yeah, Kilroy. I was like, isn't it Killjoy? No, it's Kilroy.
Killjoy.
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 Dude, we need to play some Halo.
I know. You know, there's a new one coming out, right?
Is there?
Yeah. All right. We're good here. Let me get my 2x screen. We're good there. And we're going to continue the show, everybody.
Great.
All right. This is all out of order today, huh?
Yep.
All right. Marker. All right. So let's get into some Ravcock. What's your flavor?
What's your flavor?
Now, something new this morning that's not in your show notes that I put in here is I guess there is an offline mode issue going on with the newest build, and Jules actually said something about that. Somebody mentioned in the group, and I think Raid Zero actually responded and kind of told what's going on. I don't. For me personally, like you and I have been on 3.07 for so long.
We have.
I don't really mind waiting just a little bit longer if there are issues.
Yeah, I'm probably I will probably upgrade though, Dave. So we should.
Yeah, at least 3.08.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think we want to do 4 right now, right? But
might be fun.
The what Andre Fry said is still no offline mode for 3.08.2. And Jules responded, and he says, it's coming, and I'm sorry, it's taking a while. It's a complete rewrite from the earlier offline mode in 3.07, which we threw out. Is that because we asked him for that? That would be really, really cool.
I have no idea.
When he was on the show, we're like, can we have a new offline mode? He says, if you're absolutely in need of 3.08 offline mode for a current production, please contact Help Desk with specifics, and I'll personally do what I can to assist. Both
cool.
3.08 and version 4 Plus use the new offline mode, but we're releasing it first for 3.08, and we'll make that available ASAP. Thank you for your patience. I wish this could get done faster, but it's being worked on at full speed by the team.
Interesting.
So there's your update there. They are being very, very transparent.
They're communicating.
With their users. They're communicating. It's everything that everybody a year ago was asking for, and I think they've done a really good job of that.
Yeah.
So also he posted as well on July 3rd about the AI volumetric denoiser update. He said, thank you to everyone who submitted volumetric AI denoiser sample scenes. I don't know if you saw that post.
I didn't see the post. I saw that they were looking for them, you know, that they were asking for sample scenes that they could test out. So,
yeah. So he said below is one of the very first results coming out of it. And so he posted that. We'll post a link to that in the show notes for the episode. Also, Pixel Plow is doing Houdini.
Ooh, it's amazing.
Yes, totally. So that's pretty cool to see.
They're like only one of 2 render farms now that are doing Houdini, right?
I don't know.
I think so. I think that's the case because I think they only had like one other render farm doing Houdini stuff.
Yeah. Well, I wish that they could get on the Octane thing.
They will eventually.
Hopefully that'll happen. Let's see what else. Who was this? Was it Raphael Rao? I think who posted the foil test, and I don't understand this. It's really cool. He did this Coke can with like this stuff on it, but he called it foil. Am I missing something? Is it called foil over? Is it called foil overseas or something? But it's clear. I don't quite understand it. But anyway, he posted this really cool looking material where like there's more what would
It's
you
like
call
a
it?
sheen, transparent, like
It's
a satiny,
blurrier the more depth there is,
yeah.
though, and I didn't even know that you could do that in Octane. So he
Yeah.
posted the node tree and all that. So they'll be linking that to the show notes if you haven't seen that yet. Then there's also a link to Sebastian Michalski. He posted these ridiculous pictures of these systems that he's building. And it says heading towards a 10,000 octane bench. Check this out.
Jeez.
Just gorgeous hardware, all water cooled, modified cards, the whole thing. It's just so cool to see that kind of stuff. And you look at it and you're like, that's like $50,000-$60,000 worth of gear.
Yeah.
Sage says, remember at NAB when you guys came back and were like, we're switching to Redshift because Otoy's community outreach was that bad? Yeah, that's the thing. It's great.
Yeah, but I did switch to Redshift for a little bit. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to go back to Octane for a little bit. And
Right.
it all depends on the project, really.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we've beat that subject to death, but Jules, I feel like has been very vocal about what's going on ever since then, and I think it's really great. What else in the Ravcock? NVIDIA's GeForce GTX 1180 could be unveiled next month.
That'd be awesome.
It's on The Verge.
Would be awesome.
These are
good.
all
Right
really
as we get some money coming in, then we're like, let's buy some 1180s.
Well, I'm building that system.
Are you going to?
The beginning of August for sure, and I'm going to try and do it live on the stream if I can get all the parts and everything lined up.
Awesome.
And so what I'm planning on is just to put some sort of lower level card, maybe I don't know,
1060,
1070 or something in it. And then just wait for the 1180s to come out and put a couple of those in there.
Yeah.
So
honestly, like if you don't want to spend the money, just steal one of the 1080s from Meeseeks for the time being.
I don't want to mess with that. No, that's okay.
I mean, it was just a thought.
Yeah. So there's that, and then
okay. So how about this? How about this? I got a better idea. Right? Steal one of the 1080s from Meeseeks. Once the 1180s come out, we buy some 1180s for Meeseeks, and then we each take two 1080s.
Oh, geez. I don't know. We'll figure it out off here. Right now, I have no computer to put them in or money to buy it. So okay, so let's get to this deal. And here's the thing. There's been a lot of public speak about what's going on with F-Storm. Like Jules has publicly bashed F-Storm and vice versa, right? They're having a public battle about some of this stuff. So it's really hard we can report on what they said, but I don't know how much of it is true without like really, really digging into this and talking to certain people and finding out a lot of information. So we're just going to report on what is said. Doesn't mean it's true necessarily. We don't know. This is in the F-Storm Facebook group. This is Andrei Kozlov. He says, hi everyone, we can finally tell you that F-Storm has officially won the lawsuit from Otoy. In fact, Otoy's lawyers didn't even show up for their appeal at the court hearing.
Now this is in the Russian courts, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
And so I'm like, wait a minute. They didn't show up at all. That seems weird to me, but I would like to hear an explanation of that from a different source other than F-Storm.
Right.
Even if it's not from Otoy, if it's from any third party who really knows what's going on. He says the F-Storm website is now unblocked and you can finally download and buy F-Storm Render again. Some thoughts about Otoy's business in the matter. You may remember how Jules, Otoy CEO, claimed that F-Storm is a 100% copy of Octane, built with Octane code and ultimately making Andre a thief. He made a lot of claims and always stated that he had solid evidence, but could never actually show any, except the made-up ones, that is. And so, like, I read that, and I'm like, wait, what made-up ones? Holy crap, what is going on with my Instagram? I just got, 100 notifications in, 2 seconds.
Oh, really?
Sorry. Oh, my gosh. Like, it's what is going on? Something get really popular all the. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! What is going on? Are we going viral or something? Dude, what is going on?
I have no idea.
Oh, this is all one person. Oh, look. I don't know if you can see this. Oh, of course it disappears as soon as I look.
That's funny. That's what happens on my Slack. Yeah. Like, it'll wait until the last second in order to like send me 1,000 notifications.
Sorry, like that is like the ultimate ADD distraction. I need to turn
totally.
That off. Okay. Anyway, gosh, squirrel. All right. Take two. No, just kidding.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what I'm trying to figure out, except the made up ones, that is, because okay, I've seen Jules post some stuff, and he's shown snippets of code as far as like stuff that they've done, and I guess what they're claiming is that some of the snippets of code are like from libraries or SDK fragments, which of course they're going to be the same. You know, when you have libraries inside of you did code stuff, right? You did so you know how there are libraries and you just can pull a library instead of writing stuff from scratch, because it's just like, you know, if you got a pre-made deal, like why reinvent the wheel? And what he's claiming is that like the copied code, so to speak, in air quotes, is from libraries. So that's why he's saying it doesn't make sense, because if you're both using the same library, you know, if you're both using like an Apple library to build an iPhone app, you can't say somebody copied you. Right. But I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah, because the code would be the same, but you know, because both of them are getting it from the same place, right?
Right. And so the example is, he says, like the marked 3ds Max render button that we all loved. I don't remember that. 3ds Max render button in FStorm render looks the same as the one in Octane render. Okay, but when Moscow City Court experts asked Otoy for real evidence, Octane render source code, Otoy provided less than 1% of the source code, which contained mostly 3ds Max SDK. Because obviously the SDK is not going to have Otoy's stuff in it, right? If you get an SDK for, like, say you're in Unreal and you want to build something for Oculus Rift, you're going to use some sort of SDK that already has your Oculus Rift code in it. So you can't go to like Robo Recall's developer. Well, that's Oculus, right. But you can't go to a developer of, say, like the Star Trek game and be like, "Oh, you copied my code." You know?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Jules struggled hard to convince the 3D community that those small 3ds Max SDK fragments are somehow proof that FStorm would be built on Octane code. Jules Urbach simply cannot accept that a solo developer can do a better job than his multi-million-dollar company. He had to lie everywhere, on Facebook to users and in courts. So, see, this whole public battle is going on where they both are saying that each other's lying and stealing and all of this. I don't know. Like,
it's weird because, like, if you look on like Otoy back in November, you know, the New Zealand court ruled that he had stole source code.
And the evidence that he posted seemed pretty clear. You know, and the stuff about like stealing all the source code for their website from Corona. You know, and I just feel like there's something that's not being said here. You know, there's this whole public battle. They're trying to outdo each other in public, but
they're
not going to share the bits and pieces of information that are private that really prove what's going on. They're not going to put that source code on Facebook because they don't want to release their source code. So it's hard to know what is really going on based on this stuff because there's a lot of emotion involved and there's a lot of people.
And you know, if you're, let's say, like the fact that they didn't show up for the court date, whatever. I mean, it's in Russia, you know.
That's the thing too.
I think Russia, things maybe are a little bit different there. I don't know. I can't say for sure. I don't live there, but like maybe they didn't show up there because they knew it was not going to be a deal there, you know. But like I don't know the stuff on. I'm reading this. So Sage said, "Did you see the article that Jules posted, or that was posted from Jules on Medium?" And I've got this here. I'll send it to you, Dave. Not in
yeah, I was going to say I was looking for that.
But like they're looking at the source code, and it's actually got octane_trunk like in his source code. It's like,
right,
okay.
And see, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's trying to say that it wasn't stolen, but it has the word octane in it. So that wouldn't be in a library.
Right.
You know? So it's like, how do we know what's what in this case? How do we know what to believe? Like, we need more clarification.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know if he would ever want to talk about it when he's on the show, but I don't know.
I just don't think it's. I don't think it's interesting, but I don't think it's a big deal. You know,
well, the thing is,
it's tiny little thing. You know, and if it's, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, all right. Anyway, let's get on to some other topics. So that was
I just sent it to you in a different dingus. Hopefully that doesn't. Oh
in
boy.
A different dingus. I'm not sure what.
In the different one. I don't know if it like showed up over my face or not.
Oh, well, I can't access it or your picture will go away.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. So that's good. Now I know I can do it that way.
All right. All right. So let's go to some other topics here. Oh, I am going to post a link to Bingo the Clowno, because I was listening to the School of Motion podcast with Paul Babb on it. This week, and he was talking about back in the day, I think it was Maya did Bingo the Clowno, and I remember I had like a little CD with that video on it. This is before the internet, and I went to some sort of 3D thing from Maya. My dad took me there actually, and we were at this event where they were announcing some new Maya things, and we all got a copy of the CD with Bingo the Clowno, and it was this real trippy 3D animation with people. It was a game changer.
Watching it right now. It's creeptastic.
Yeah, it's very creepy.
And so you can just see how far we've come. Like, look at the movements on the body, like all the like.
Oh yeah,
it feels more mechanical and less. Like a motion capture or something like that. I don't know. Crazy.
Yeah. It was really it was amazing at the time. So, all right, let's get to some links.
Let's do it.
Number one, This Is America. Childish Gambino, done in Mac Paint.
Right.
I don't know if you saw this one going around this week. That's
I didn't see a music video for it. I just saw images.
Oh, so somebody put it together, like the whole animation and everything. It's like that. Somebody's got a lot of time on their hands. I'll tell you that. Also, if you are interested in doing social media stuff for promoting yourself or your business or whatever it is, you have to know video specs. Like, for example, yesterday I was putting together a quick 30-second Instagram of the projection map we did to kind of get it out there in the open, right? And so I was like, oh, well, I need the specs on that. And, there's always different specs. It's like, what is the maximum size of this video? What format does it need to be in? What aspect ratio does it have to be in? Or some other thing, the resolution, all of that stuff. Well, what's the limit on how long a clip can be? So there's a site called Sprout Social, and they have some blogs and stuff, and they have this thing that is called Social Media Video Spec Guide, and it's like always up to date. So if you go on there and you want to say, okay, how do I do this thing for Instagram? What are the specs? You can just go do this reference sheet, and it's supposedly updated all the time. So also, we talked about the Pokemon thing with the AR. There's also a really cool Gumroad pack that's out now. It's called Building Displacement Pack.
Okay.
And
building displacement pack?
Yeah, so like size of buildings with windows and balconies and all that, it's all made using displacement.
Cool.
So that's something, and it's Gumroad, so I think you can throw $15 and get this. It'd be very useful, I think, if you're doing street scenes and stuff like that. Instead of having to build actual buildings, in the background, you could just use a little bit of displacement.
Wow. This is incredible.
So, yeah. It says it's called Building Displacement Pack 0. So,
okay. I want this. I want this.
I want to go to there.
I want to go to there.
And then School of Motion did a really cool article this week, too, called Is There a Difference Between Cheap and Expensive Motion Design Artists?
Yeah, like the $7 versus $1,000.
Yeah, using Fiverr or whatever.
I didn't see the results. Like, what did it look like?
It's pretty good. I wasn't really impressed with the expensive version that much. They seemed more impressed. And I didn't think it was that great, to tell you the truth. So I don't know. I feel like the expensive version should have been like 3D and all this other stuff, but it wasn't. It seemed like they paid a little too much for that. I honestly thought the mid-range one would have done the trick, but check that out. That was a really popular article this week. Also. Apparently at Brograph, there's going to be a lot about the making of Incredibles 2. So we're going to...
Wait, really? Wait,
yeah.
No, sorry. I'm looking at the difference between the two.
Oh, on the other article?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're going to have to just go check it out and decide for yourself. If you go in our Slack, it would be cool to get a little feedback on that, what people think.
Oh, because here's the Upwork one. Okay, sorry. They posted the thing twice. And I was like, what? It's the same animation.
Yeah. So there's going to be a lot at Brograph about the making of Incredibles 2. There's a link to that. A lot of people are getting FOMO because they're going to miss out on this Incredibles 2 stuff. But Brograph is just so expensive. I think if they made Brograph a little more affordable for people to get to, that it would be more like NAB. It just feels like such a hard point of entry. But and then Nick came out with more HDRI packs with French Monkey. So he's got, I think, 2 more packs. So if you go to the HDR packs on French Monkey's site, you'll be able to check those out. And that's pretty much it. We're going to go to some email social real quick, and we're going to get out of here. This is from Chico. He says, hello, friend. I see you're using Octane on a Mac, but it gives me hope to run on Octane and Luminous on my Mac too. I guess he meant it gives me hope. How is it possible? Are you using an eGPU or something like that? Thanks a lot, and congrats. We have a blog post. If you go to our blog section of our website, you'll be able to check that out, and you can see how we did that. However, I did mention that we've kind of abandoned the whole Mac thing at this point. And moved to PC.
It is my glorified Dropbox machine.
Yeah.
And After Effects render node.
Yeah. Then Benjamin Allenson sent us some feedback. I believe this was in our topic request section on the Slack channel. Hearing David Ariev talk about RealFlow makes me want to get back into it, but the licensing has always been a huge hassle. David, was it difficult for you to figure out? Maybe they have simplified it since last year, and I know we don't have David here to talk about that, but I know that you've had a lot of licensing issues.
Yeah, it's dumb. Like, I can't even remember what I had to do in order to deal with it. Like, I had to email them, and then they had to release something. I'm just spouting off the top of my head. I can't really remember the whole thing. But
it's just a huge hassle.
It was a hassle. And it took me days to move it over from one computer to the other. But I think they allow you to install it on 2 computers. I could be wrong. But it was a super pain in the butt in order to do it. And it took me days to get it done. So,
well, what Benjamin said is, as I began trying to reinstall it, again, the licenses and activation keys are all screwing up and difficult. I reached out to customer support. I'll let you guys know what happens, but it's it's annoying that licensing stuff can be so difficult that you don't even want to use the product. I think that's the thing. RealFlow is so great. David Ariev had great things to say about it, and reasons for using it over X particles.
Yeah, I enjoy it. Like I find it's it's a little bit more user friendly than X particles. Don't get me wrong, I love X particles, but when it comes to liquids and stuff, like I find it's a little bit easier. But yeah, it was a giant pain in the butt in order to get it up and running. What I would normally do is, I think what I did during that was installed the demo while I was waiting for them to actually get back to me. I don't know. Yeah.
He said they have both a license and an activation key. I see them on my account and the website, but the activation key doesn't work. And they give me a way to download a license file that's a .lic file and no information on what to do with that file. So the thing is that I think they're making it so difficult to handle licensing that they're driving people away. And it seems like if they would make this a little more streamlined and not worry so much about the fact that like people are going to pirate it. I understand the reason for not wanting people to pirate your stuff. Yeah. But it's not this difficult for other pieces of software. I mean, look at Octane. It's pretty locked down and solid. Yes, sometimes there are internet activation issues, but for the most part, there's not. And it's, for the most part, fairly easy to use Octane, and switch licenses and stuff like that. And I think that they really need to get on that ball because they're back in that mindset of the original RealFlow.
Yeah.
You would install the standalone software and you would go through all this rigmarole and it was a big deal. And Cinema 4D users who want this plugin are not necessarily willing to go through all this trouble. The problems that I have with licensing when it comes to what's the, not World Creator, what's the
Dem Earth.
Like the problems that I have had getting that to work and having license issues and things expiring and things not working and having to get support, I will never buy that piece of software again.
Yeah.
I will find an alternative no matter what it is. It is too much of a hassle. It's like you can't get to the point where you're driving customers away because you're making it so difficult to own the product.
Totally agree.
Or reinstall it. Because some people use stuff like that, like Dem Earth and RealFlow. You don't use that every day.
No.
Most you're going to get like a job, and it's going to require that you use Dem Earth, or it's going to require that you use RealFlow, and you're going to sit down in front of your computer and be like, oh crap, I haven't installed this in my newest version of Cinema 4D since last year, so I need to do that. And then you're going to download it, and then you're going to install it, and then you're going to have a problem, and then it's going to take you 2 days to get the thing working, and then you're going to realize that maybe you're not going to want to upgrade this or use it again because it's too much of a hassle. You're going to find an alternative. You're going to use X particles or some sort of other, World Machine, World Creator, and in place of Dem Earth. And so I think companies really have to think about that. If you lock it down too much, you're going to have a bad time.
Yeah.
So I got nothing else, man.
I got a ton of work I got to do.
Me too. We got a long week ahead.
Yes, we do.
So we're going to get out of here.
That's good.
It's good. It's really good. We've got nobody lined up for next week. We need to figure that out. We need to figure out who's going to be on the show next week. So stay tuned for that. Don't forget to rate us. Leave a review on iTunes. Let us know what you think about the show. Don't forget to email us, brograph@brograph.com, and let us know what you want to hear about on the show. We love getting emails from you. Just, anything about the show. If you want to tell us if you like the show, if you don't like the show, if you want to ask us a noob question, an experienced question, it doesn't matter. Love hearing from you. You can also subscribe to us on your podcatcher of choice. It helps get our ratings up. The newsletter, I think we're going to be sending out pretty soon. It's been quite a while since we've sent out one. You can say you've been there, done that, got the t-shirt with a No Brograph, No Mograph tee. The Gate de Simone limited edition shirt, the Feel the Bad 2020 shirt, all the profits from that goes to Doctors Without Borders. I'm actually wearing that right now. And then the Render Things t-shirt and hoodie, which are our most popular items. And, of course, we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Brograph.com, Twitch, all the stuff and things.
All the stuff and things.
All the stuff and things. So we're going to get out of here.
Let's do it. I'm going to unpack my office.
I wish you would. All right. Until next week, I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt.
Have a good one.
Later, bros. Da-da-da-da-da-da. All right. Stop. Let's see how fast this uploads.
Ooh.
Is gigabit internet.
Oh, yeah. And now we play the waiting game. Literally.
This game
That's the
sucks.
song I'm playing.
Let's play Hungry Hungry Hippos.
Yes.
Hey Sage, hit me up on Slack or Skype, either or. About your question.